So welcome, Charlene, to our In Conversation With series.
Oh, thank you.
This is a series all about real conversations with professionals in the industries of design, interiors and bathrooms. And I'm so glad to have you here today.
It's a real privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Can you give me a little bit of a description of what it is that Bunker do? What services do you offer?
So at Bunker, what we do is we mostly work with developers and homeowners, understanding, and it's getting, the foundations right, looking at it, looking at what's possible in that space, bringing that kind of knowledge about what's out there, and then kind of giving them a strategy about how to implement that. So it's not cushions, it's like the proper foundations and structure.
It's incredible. It's incredible. But no, every time I speak to you, Charlene, I'm always left feeling so inspired, and like you always have so many hints and tips. And I was wondering, if possible, could you please share a few tips for people who are designing their bathrooms, from that interior design perspective?
The first thing is always looking at the layout. If there is a layout there that's causing a few issues, how can we improve it? I do feel like people should stretch their budget a wee bit if the result they can get would be much better than the solution they have at the moment. Secondly, then I would look at the materials. I'll go and contradict myself. Less is more, but then I do love more is more. So I love loads of tiles.
Say as I do, not as I say. What's the quote?
So pick stuff that you really love. Really think about it. Think about how they will match up. How will it match up? How will those tiles match up with maybe sanitary ware, light wear? Really think about the materials and how they'll all come together as a whole. And if you really love it, you'll keep it for 10 years. If you kind of make a compromise on something just to save some money, or you think, oh well, when I go to sell it, that's a really neutral thing. Don't worry about that. That's 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
Just have something you really love and invest in the materials that you really enjoy. We've kind of moved away from just having maybe one light, or maybe just a few spotlights. If you can have loads of different lighting, layer the lighting, spotlights, maybe a light above the bath, light in the shower.
And why is that, do you think? Is it just for different times during the day?
Yeah, I just think people want to enjoy their spaces more. Bathroom, isn't just a place to brush your teeth in. It's somewhere to have a bath in, it's somewhere to have a really nice shower, it's somewhere to relax. Looking at lighting, looking at wall lights, looking at spotlights, and then, looking at making sure that they can go on and off at different times. Do you know what I mean? You don't have them all in one switch, totally ruin it. I think those are my main three things for kind of designing your bathroom.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was so insightful, and definitely loads of information in there. So to see more of our content with Charlene from Bunker, follow along Bathshack on socials.